Hello and welcome to Speak Out. You are connected to it and it feels so good to be in your company on this very beautiful day. Right here on Speak Out, we discuss about different issues affecting a lot of people in our communities so as to raise awareness, educate, entertain, inspire and motivate people to do the right thing. Wow. If it's your first time watching us, don't forget to interact with us on all social media platforms showing on the screen. Do hashtag us on Twitter, Instagram, do like, share, and comment. My name is Prudence Savengwa, aka Miss Pru, and my guests today are the lovely activists for people living with albinism. I have Trevor and Rutendo. Please welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Yes. So maybe you may need to introduce yourself to the family.
Thank you. Greetings, viewers. My name is Trevor Nyaumwe. I am an activist for people living with albinism. I think that's
it. Okay, Rutendo.
Hello everyone, my name is Rutendo Musa, aka Butterfly. I am a model and activist as well for people with albinism.
Amazing. All right. You may need to tell us your brief background, how you grew up, where you come from, what you do right now.
okay. I was born in Mutare in the year 1995, and I grew up in Mutare in a family of 5, 3 boys and 2 girls. And life in the rural areas was not so that easy. Because I lost my parents at a very tender age when I was 12 years. So I grew up with the support and care of my brothers. But I managed to sail through. I did my primary education and I'm happy because I was the best in class.
Wow.
From grade 3 up to grade 7, I was always
You don't
at
say.
the top. When I proceeded to high school, when I did my O-level, the subject which I hate most was mathematics. Just because of my eyesight, I couldn't figure out those
Some
figures
boxes.
at the board. So
Okay.
I had a negative attitude. But when it came to English, Shona, and all other subjects, I was very good. And I did passed all the subjects except for maths. And I proceeded to high school, Form 6, and I had my good points. Then it now rang into my mind that I should do mathematics.
Yes,
Then
you
I
should.
did mathematics,
Yes.
and I passed
Okay.
it with a very flying symbol.
That is an A or B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then I proceeded to tertiary education. I did my tertiary education at Morgan's Inter College. It's a teacher's college in Arcadia. And I had a wonderful experience there.
Yes.
That's when I started to realize that life was different from that of the rural areas.
Okay.
Because I was now participating in various activities.
Yes.
For example, when I started my tertiary education, this is when I started to do sporting activities. I didn't know that I was an athlete because I have several medals
Wow.
in athletics.
Yes.
So it was, I don't know how I felt, but it was, I managed to realize that I had a challenge in
Yes.
athletics. So I have several medals in athletics.
Mm.
Then I also completed my diploma. That's the most interesting thing I did because
Yes.
we were about 500, but when we wrote our final exam, some had been deferred, but I showed that I have the ability to complete this
Wow.
this course.
Ish. Powerful. Moving on to Regina. I know maybe some people have seen you from the other show, but some people who are the first timers for the show, they need to know your background, your upbringing, your personality.
Okay. I was born in Marondera, that's where I currently reside. And I attended my primary education at Glenview 6 Primary School in Harare. Then I went on to Sununguko High School where I studied for my O levels, and for my advanced levels I went to Neko House Girls High in Marondera as well, and I obtained very good grades, and I managed to proceed to tertiary education, where at Pindra University of Science Education, where I obtained my Bachelor of Science Honours degree in Biological Sciences.
Yes.
I recently graduated last year. Yes.
Amazing. All right. So, how does that feeling of fulfillment make you feel, knowing that I've achieved this, in as much as many people are not achieving this?
It empowers me to know that I'm not different from others.
Amazing.
Yes, because if I'm able to do a certain task that you can do, that my sister can do, I can know that there's nothing impossible. It only needs to focus and to tackle the task as it is.
Amazing. And you, Richard?
It just proves that disability doesn't mean inability. I might have a different skin color, but it doesn't mean that I can do what everyone else can do.
Yes.
Like, I challenge myself. Generally, there are so many people that say, yes, people with albinism, they have short sight, but I challenge myself. I can actually see things under the microscope, which is very, very, very difficult.
Yes.
But I challenge myself to do that, and I just prove to the world that I can also do that. Only if I put myself to it, I can achieve all my goals, regardless of my skin color, of my background, and everything else.
Amazing. All right, we come back to you, Trevor. When you were a child, was it easy to make friends?
Yeah, for me it was an easy thing. Why? Because the community where I come from, it's more educated. And I think the other thing, I was, as I said earlier, that I was always the best in class.
Yes.
So to make friends was not a difficult thing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially within the class.
Yes.
Because everyone will be trying
to be like you.
To be like, how is he doing it? I need some corrections. Then you start to make friends.
Wow.
And I was not shy of my disability.
Okay.
I could do anything at school, every task that needs to be done without feeling shy, and my mother didn't hide me from the community.
Yes.
I think that's what made the community to accept me.
Wow. So in other words, you're saying if a parent have a kid with any kind of disability, they should be proud of them, such that the community...
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yes. All right. So in other words, you're also saying that you never faced any form of abuse, be it kungoshedzwa zvisiri izvo zvausingade or whatsoever.
Yeah, name calling was a problem when you move to another village.
Yes.
That's when people will start to call you some sort of names, but within your village, people will just know, this is Trevor, he did so and so.
Yes.
So they will call you with your real name.
Okay.
But when moving, for example, when I grew up in the rural areas, maybe you are doing sporting activities, you can went to 5 kilometers traveling to another school. That's when they will start to call you some names, and I ended up saying, no, I want to go for sporting activities. I will remain in my community in fear of name calling.
Wow. I think maybe you just need to elaborate a little bit much more about this when we come back after the short break. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next segment. welcome back to our second segment here on Speak Out. My name is Pretty Sevenga, aka Miss Prue, and I have the talented guests, Retendo and Trevor. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, Trevor, you were now elaborating about how it was not easy for you to go to another village.
Yes.
And how people were addressing you.
Yes, name calling is not something which is acceptable.
Yes.
Because there are various forms of names. Murungu Asinadun. Yeah, can you come and see Murungu Asinadun? Some will be calling you Murungu. No, that's Musobe. So people will be calling you with all sorts of names. And I still remember when I went to another village, I met 3 women. I won't forget this story. And they started to say, no, I think it's their mother. There's something. I think his mother was bewitched or something or so. Then I started, I felt embarrassed knowing that maybe my mother was bewitched so that I could be born. But later on I realized that these are only genes.
Yes.
It's just lack of color on the skin. So it was not an easy journey to be called with some names. Even right now in locations, people can call you names. They can come the whole community start to call you that name. But I'm now used to it.
Okay.
So to me, it's no longer a discrimination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe for you, Rutindo, you may need to tell us what it makes you feel if someone tells you Musobe or albino, because honestly I think on the last show I actually got it wrong. I didn't think it was bad to say albino. Yes, I know now it's called people living with albinism. So is it the same way if I call you albino or Musobe?
I think it all depends with the context you'll be using the word.
Okay.
Like the way you're using it last time, there's definitely no problem with that.
Okay.
But let's say I'm walking down the road and
Yes.
then someone just walks up to me and then says, "Hey, Maubino."
Oh yeah.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
That's really annoying.
Yes.
And generally, name calling, for me, it's something that I've lived with since I was a little kid. And up to now, I can as well say that I no longer pay attention to that generally. But deep down, it just stings a bit.
Yes.
It just stings a bit to be called all those sorts of names. It's just degrading, and so on. So it's generally something that I've managed to grow past, and I can as well say I'm over it, but the name calling just has to stop.
good.
People have to be educated. People with albinism also have names.
Yes.
So you don't have to call them with an umbrella name like Musobe. That's unacceptable. That's just unacceptable. So just ask me for my name. I'll be free to tell you that my name is Rutendo and I do this, I do that.
Butterfly.
Yes.
All right. Trevor, did you face any challenges besides growing up in a village, but maybe at school when you now came to Harare? Because you are saying that in your village, they had no problem with that. But then when you came here in Harare, how was it like at school?
Yeah, I think tertiary education is different from primary or higher education. Yeah, because during my tertiary education, I didn't face any problem.
Wow.
I would like to give much thanks to my lecturers. I didn't face any problem. It was a conducive environment for me. I could do my assignments. If I didn't hang them on time, could go and apologize before 2 days. I'm not able. The pressure is too much. Then I managed to sail through. So during my tertiary education, there was no problem at all.
You're also a teacher?
Yes, I am a teacher by profession.
Yes. How is it like being a teacher at a primary school, and how do students, on a general note, behave?
The first day when I did my attachment in Chegutu, it's a certain school in Chegutu, the learners they were surprised. They were looking at me, hey, which grade is he going to take? When I started, I'll be taking grade 4. They say, But when I spent a week there, they were all my friends.
Yes.
Yes, I think at first sight,
Yes.
just like if you see a visitor or a stranger, you may start to wonder, who is
Yes.
this person? You know, what
Yes.
kind of a person is this?
Yes.
But when you stay for
Yes.
2 or 3 days, you may
prove
start
them.
to know that it's just a teacher, a good
Yes.
teacher indeed. And I was a music teacher. Yeah, so they will love the way I sing. Come, let's do music. And we managed to do well in music. For the first time I was on my attachment.
Yes. So can you just sing any song, maybe just for less than 30 seconds?
Okay. Tenzi nditungamire mukati mezviyedzo mananda handibata ndimwi dombo ndiwige ndimwi mutungamiri.
Wow.
Tenzi nditungamire.
Wow.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Rutendo, can you also do this? You cannot.
I cannot sing.
Okay.
Yes, of course I can sing. I was in the school choir at Chico High School, and I was
Yeah.
also in the Scripture Union choir.
Oh, okay.
But I don't enjoy singing that much. I'm more
okay.
of a motivational speaker.
Okay.
I enjoy speaking in front of crowds.
Yes, I know that. Maybe you can just say something to motivate people to come here to speak out.
So, so many people are suffering in silence, and you might be down 9 times, but always be sure that you will always get up at the 10th time. Keep trying. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. You still have strength in you. Just use that strength to find some place that can comfort you. Just use the strength that is in you to motivate you to do good as well.
Powerful. I think you've heard it for yourself. You need to stay true to yourself, right?
Yes.
All right, Trevor, back to you. What kind of experience would you say this was the worst experience in my life?
The worst experience in my life is when I failed to get access to sun lotions. You know, our skin needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
So I was limited to do some certain tasks, staying under the shade all the time in fear of my skin. So I think it was the worst experience because by then it was not easy to get some sunscreens like what is happening nowadays. Back those days it was very, very difficult to get some sunscreens. Even spectacles, they were high costly.
Yes.
You couldn't afford to buy the spectacles. So you need to go this way on board.
Okay.
The notebook, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because when I did my primary education, I need to walk to the board, then I
You don't
write
say.
the notes down, then I come to my original book
Then you
and
start
put all the
writing.
things down. That's what I used to do, and I was used to it. And remember, the test could be written on 2 boards.
Yes.
1 up to 50, then you have to move around.
I see.
So it was, I think that was the most worst experience I've ever experienced.
Okay, so what do you think needs to be done to the people who are actually, especially in the rural areas where people are not like giving much attention? What do you think needs to be done for them to get access to those lotions and everything?
I think there's not for these such called organizations to venture into the rural areas and to find out those people in need, because life outside there is not easy.
Wow.
People really need sunscreens, people really need protective wear, they need
Yes.
sun years.
I think I just need to cut you off right here and you can explain further. We'll be right back in the next segment. Thank you. To motivate people to come here to speak out.
So many people are suffering in silence, and you might be down 9 times, but always be sure that you will always get up at the 10th time.
The worst experience in my life is when on 2 boards.
Yes.
1 up to 50, life outside there is not easy.
Generally, I was depressed every day. report to the police that mukomana wangu azondidai, so they just believe that big gain my strength. So it's generally something that I've managed to grow past.
Welcome back to the third segment here on Speak Out. I am Prudence Tavengo, aka Miss Pru, and I have my two guests, Ritendo and Trevor, the activist for people living with albinism, and as well. So Trevor was talking about how it was not easy for him living in the rural areas and not getting the lotions that they need. And please, can you just elaborate once again about that?
Okay, I'm saying it was very difficult for you to get those sunscreens because there will be no one to stand for you to come and give you those sunscreens. Even yourself, you cannot have the money to buy a small tube of sunscreen because it is costly. I think you know well life in the rural areas. There is no employment, and if the family is not well up, cannot even buy the sunscreens.
Awesome. Okay. This needs to be heard, honestly, and I think here on Speak Out, people needs to know that people living with albinism needs the lotions, and it should not be expensive out there. All right, Ritendo, when you were here last time, you were talking about the atrocities that you faced as a lady. Tell us once again, maybe just briefly, an experience that you had once again.
So the worst experience was me being sexually exploited.
Okay.
There was a nightmare. That was a nightmare. No one out there deserves that. So I remember I couldn't go to anyone. I couldn't speak to anyone. But later on, I decided that no, this is not right. I have to talk to someone. I have to get the help that I require.
Yes.
And I have to get better. Because I was depressed. Generally, I was depressed every day. I had low self-esteem after the experience. So the fact that I managed to find someone to talk to, it helped me to regain my strength as a human being and be able to stand for others as well. And even up to now, there's this thing called rape. Why just people are dating.
Yes.
It's happening out there as well, and so many people are suffering because of it. They can't go out there and report to the police that mukomana wangu azondidai, so they just believe that they are not going to be believed. But no, they have to just go there and share their stories as well, so that they can be heard and the wrongdoers can be dealt with accordingly.
All right. So what kind of rape do you get when you're dating actually? Because someone maybe out there doesn't know this is the rape that I'm facing. How do you mean it's a rape?
Let's say someone forces you into doing something that you do not want. That's rape. That's rape. Let's say you're dating, right? And then your guy says, come, let's do this. Let's indulge. You can actually say, I don't want. And your no should mean, and you should stand for a no.
Yes.
But if he goes on to violate that decision, that's rape. That's rape.
Amazing. Okay, coming back to you, Trevor, did you face any kind of sexual abuse or any kind of abuse due to your condition?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't face any challenge. Yeah.
Okay. What about discrimination, even at work with other workmates?
No, not at all. I'm a sociable person.
Oh.
So if you try to discriminate me, I think
You stand up.
may have that 60 cents. Why am I doing this to this sociable person?
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Maybe you may just tell us what you're looking forward to do in the next 2 to 3 years to come, besides teaching.
I think I have to further my studies in music. I want to have a master's in music. That's my dream. And I am dreaming of having my own school, my own academy.
Wow.
Wow.
I have to employ others, not
Yes.
to be employed.
Wow. You're also an activist for people living with albinism.
Yes.
What are your objectives? What do you do and what do you stand for?
Yeah, my main mission is for people living in the rural areas to have a better life,
Yes.
like those in urban areas,
Okay.
to have that education, because some they are not going to school.
Mm.
I saw someone busy molding bricks in the broad daylight, no sunscreen, and I was heartened.
Mm.
So I think people living albinism in the rural areas,
okay.
their lives should be improved.
All right. So actually, you're saying that you saw someone living with albinism
Yes,
doing that.
yes.
All right. Okay. Rutendo, maybe you have something that you also need to just add
Well, I stand for
as an activist. Yeah.
women with albinism in general. I believe that abuse, be it sexual abuse, gender-based violence, all of that is unacceptable. So many women with albinism, let's say in marriages, they are suffering from, be it emotional abuse from the relatives of the husband, be it sexual abuse from their husbands themselves. And I stand for that. I believe that no one deserves to be abused and we all want a better life. So I believe that if my voice is heard, it will also be a stepping stone towards a better future for all of us.
Amazing. So, do you mean that the sexual abuse from the husband is the same as the rape that the boyfriend and girlfriend do?
It all depends. Generally, it all depends. Let's say in a marriage setup, a woman can also be pressured into doing some things that she is not comfortable doing.
Okay.
That's why you will be being exploited.
Yes.
So yes, it also counts as abuse.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Any advice that you have to give to people?
Yeah, to people, I can say we have to treat each other equally. There is
Yes.
no difference, we are just the same. We can do all tasks given the opportunity. So I can say we have to embrace one another.
Wonderful. And your advice, Rutendo?
Like they say, charity begins at home. As parents, as sisters, as brothers, let us nurture our younger ones to take and also to love people with disabilities. As we can also create a stigma-free generation.
Yes.
It all begins with us.
Yes. Okay. Are you comfortable in your own skin, Trevor?
Yes, I'm very much comfortable.
Okay. How can you teach anyone out there living with any kind of disability to be able to have pride in to have pride in themselves?
I always say God do things for a purpose.
Yes.
So you are there for a purpose, you have to serve your purpose. Don't limit yourself regardless of your disability. You have to know that I always have my motto, I can do all things
Through Christ?
through Christ who strengthens me.
Yes.
Remember, I'm also a gospel worker.
Okay. All right. Rutendo, maybe from the last episode that we did together, do you have something that you need people to know or to take from Speak Out?
If you know someone who is suffering maybe in silence, encourage those people to find their place of comfort. Encourage them to go for counseling, as all that stress, all that resentment they'll be harboring, it actually eats you away.
Yes.
It naturally consumes you, and we all don't have to be nurtured by all of our mishaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. You're also on social media.
Yes.
What are your user handles?
I use Twitter, Trevor Nyaumwe, Instagram, Trevor Nyaumwe.
Okay.
You can follow me on Facebook,
Yes.
Trevor Nyaumwe. And
Okay.
on my WhatsApp platform,
Yes.
0715 64998. 0715 64998.
Yes. What about you, Rutendo?
You can follow me on Twitter, Rutendo Musa, Instagram handle, Rutendo Butterfly, and Facebook, Rutendo Rumusa. Or you can also contact me on WhatsApp if you feel like you have a story you want to share with me. 0719 901 247.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming through to our show.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it was an honor indeed having my lovely guests, Rutendo and Trevor. Please do follow them on all their social media handles, and also come here to speak out and speak out your story. We need to know that so that we may raise awareness. For more exclusive and awesome shows, keep on locked on with us on all social media platforms showing on the screen. Do hashtag us on Twitter, Instagram, and all social media platforms. Like, share, and comment. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next episode. Love you.